How's everyone doing? Good to see you all. That was weird not having the music. It kind of threw me off, I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to tonight. I've just been blasting out Artio's music and it's sounding so good. I'm absolutely loving it. I don't know why I did that. How's everyone's day been? All right? Have you had a good day so far? Just bear with me. Oh, Jesus. I just forgot to post out on Facebook. Anyways, who have we got in the comments? April Steele first in the comments. Well done. Amy, good to see you. Michael Davies, great to see you as well, mate. So today I've had a really productive day. I've been at a writing session with Andy Ruddy. That was a lot of fun. I'd love to play them for you, but I wouldn't know how. We just wrote them and moved on. We wrote 2 songs, so we've got them sort of ready to start recording and working on and seeing what comes of them, I guess. What else we got in? James, how you doing, mate? Smashing your Kickstarter, pal. Good work. How you doing, Maggie? Amy, how you doing? Great to see you as well. Right, I'm going to play a song. Couldn't find you for a minute. Hope you're good. Oh dear. Is it public? I hope I haven't done that again. to those who wait, my patience is wearing thin. You told me that you won't forget, but back then they were words just said. Don't forget, I don't wanna be the man who picks up his life in pieces. I just wanna be the man who embraces to give me patience. This love, this lust isn't good enough. I've changed my ways. Your love is tough. Your kiss, your taste, your bitterness is just so cold and meaningless. So meaningless. I don't wanna be the man who picks up his life in pieces. I just wanna be the man who embraces to give me patience. I don't wanna be the man who picks up his life in pieces. I just wanna be the man who embraces to give me patience. And I don't wanna be the man who picks up his life in pieces. I just wanna be the man who embraces to give me patience. Give me patience. Oh, give me patience. Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Cool. I think we'll just jump right into the show. I'm really looking forward to hearing what these guys have got to show us. They've got some new music out, and I'm excited to hear what's been going on during the whole lockdown and everything. So let's just jump right into it. If the guys are ready, we will go. They've given me the thumbs up. Here we go. Yo. Oh, you're muted. Do it every time.
Yeah, there we
How's
go.
it going, guys?
Hey,
Good to see you.
what's up?
Hi.
Great to see you both.
Yeah, you too.
So how's things going? Are you doing well? Are you both well and healthy? And
yeah,
you know,
it's good now that we're in a bubble buddies now. We can actually
bubble buddies.
bubble buddies. We can actually get on with stuff now, which is nice. We've been working remotely since lockdown started now.
I had to build my own vocal booth in the corner of my room so we could finish the body of music that we're working on. And I'm not a tech head at all, so I had to ring him every 10 minutes. Is this right? Should it be making this sound? Does it do it? What should it be this big? Should the waveform look like that? And he's just do it and just look it up. But I don't like.
I'll fix it later.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it in post. Don't worry. Just send it, and I'll send it. There's be clicking, and I'll have sent the wrong. It won't be the right font, whatever. So finally, I have someone that knows
now we
what
can actually
they're
get on
doing.
with stuff properly.
So I don't.
That's cool.
Panic in a little room.
That's really cool though. You've managed to you kind of adjusted and just got on with it. It's one thing, been in a band and been creative. even when times are normal, never mind during a pandemic, you know, like trying to keep momentum going and like create content and build a hype and all of those things, different things that, you know, the general struggle of being in a band at the best of times, doing it during COVID-19, I can imagine it being, you know, quite a feat really. But from what I've seen on your socials and stuff, you're still very active and, you know, everything's sort of it has its place, and you guys are really on point when it comes to branding and like even like to the sound and stuff. Everything's really well produced, and like just it kind of all marries up and really matches really well with the brand and the whole vibe of the band. You must have put a lot of thought into all that sort of stuff. You know, it's not easy, you know, doing that in general, as in like, you know, you want to write songs and play music, but it is about the art and about the whole project, isn't it? And the whole thing. It's, you know, you've got a message, you've got an image that you want to portray, and all those sort of things. How did you sort of come up with that in the grand scheme of things? Like, is it a natural progression? Has it taken a while to get it to the way you wanted it, or did it just sort of happen?
At the very beginning, kind of, we've been through like stages of Artio, like eras. So like the first EP, when we released that, we finished it in January and didn't release it till July because we'd written it all before we even gigged as the entity of Artio. So we had to like get it gig done before we released it, and then we were in like jumpsuits as like the branding, so it was like the all equal, but I had a lilac one because I'm special. And then you and Rob had like navy blue ones, and we'd always play in the jumpsuits, and that'd be a thing, like a little stamp. And then when we did the next EP, I did like all black jumpsuits, and it got a little bit kind of moodier to follow the sound of it getting moodier. So we definitely think a lot about how we look, our socials, and then how that ties in with the music. And then with the new stuff we're working on at the minute, we've had like a whole change up again. There's a new colour scheme on Instagram.
I was gonna say, like everything's very blood red, that kind of like very
it all off and did it again. But we work with an amazing kind of graphic designer photographer called Tom Berridge. He's like helps us do everything. Yeah. So when we were like, Tom, we need to redo the whole thing, he was like, say no more. And then he helped us kind of come up with this concept. And then I like edit the photos red, or like our friend Kez does it. So we've got a fabulous little team that every time we do a switch, everyone's like ready to like move on to the next step after we've given that era its own little spotlight.
It's like we also look up to and listen to a load of bands who are so like good and consistent with all of their branding and marketing and themes, and we always take those as like bits of inspiration. And when we look at a band, we don't usually say, oh, we want to sound like these guys. Like, of course the sonic like aspect of it is really important, but we also look at bands where we're like, oh, these guys, their Instagram page looks really good, their merchandise looks great,
it's important.
Their presence online is brilliant, and we kind of realize that that's such an important part of running a band. Because if you see it as more
who do you take inspiration for when it comes to that then?
We say Bring Me the Horizon and Paris.
I was going to say there's a huge Paris vibe musically and sonically anyways.
Paris is like a big pull from like everywhere for us, but
it's just so slick, like the way that they like are on every platform and on stage and off stage. It's like
they're incredible live, aren't they?
Yeah, it's such a package that you like when you get it, you get all of this like fabulous content and stuff. So we were like, we want to do that.
But even like people who are completely out of our genre, like rappers like Scarlord or something, they have such a strong image which resonates with so many people. I was drawn to people like that because, you know, you'd see an Instagram ad and it looked really professional, everything was really cohesive, and then you go and listen to them because of that. So I think we've kind of recognized that it's important to have an image as well as good sounding.
I think in this day and age, you have to have that even before anyone starts to sort of really take any notice of you. Obviously, you can build an organic fan base and you can do all of that in between, but labels these days want to pick up a ready-made package and just be able to throw money at it and send it to where it needs to go. You know, it's so accessible now for us to be able to brand and like design and do all of these things, you know, across the board, not just sonically and like production wise, but everything like visuals, photography, videography, everything, it's so accessible for us now. Labels just expect us to do it. And I don't think labels are the top on like the main focus of all of this, but it definitely helps.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to trying to get picked
contacts, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it's like everything.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, everything can be done now. It's just labels are just the people that can pump millions and millions into it and give it that extra level.
They want you to have your own identity though. Because
they're not gonna. I mean, they will make it for some people, but if you present something strong and unique before you even have the millions and millions pumped into you, you're only gonna, be more successful if they can pick you up like that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I always
agree.
think though that like if you've got as a band, if you have like an image and it's very obvious who you are and what you're about before you get picked up or signed or discovered, then if you're really, really sure in your kind of creative vision, then hopefully the people that pick you up won't want to change it, because a lot of people
they'll see that it's
change it.
Yeah, they'll see that it's got so far on its it's on its for its own steam sort of thing. For them to basically just push it along further and, as you say, send them the contacts, send you to all the right contacts and that sort of stuff based on your vision, your idea.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just going to go, this is doing well, here's that identity, run with it, sort of thing, if that was the case.
No, I don't want that.
But yeah, what I heard on Spotify sounds incredible. And it turns out you've been doing a lot of the production and stuff yourselves.
Yeah.
That's right?
All of it.
Oh, we get mastered by other
We're still
people.
there.
Yeah, but that's about. Are we still here?
Hello?
Are we frozen?
Hello.
Oh no, have we frozen? Has it all gone wrong? Uh-oh.
Huh?
Are we experiencing technical difficulties? Uh-oh.
I'm still here.
We're still here.
I can see everything.
We can't hear now.
I can't hear him. Put in the private chat, say that we can't hear you. I did.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello? Have we got it?
What's happening?
Oh no. Let's see. Is something
Right,
coming in
guys,
on our
can you hear
audio?
me?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll put yes.
Okay. Anyone in the comments, if you can hear me now live, that'd be great if you just let me know, because there's a lag like no end. It took ages for them to answer, so I'm going to hopefully...
Hello? Is it your fucking Wi-Fi?
It won't be my Wi-Fi. It's on full.
Okay. Yep, can hear you. Can people hear us? Play a song.
Okay. I guess we'll try and save the show. We'll play
Oh
a
my
song.
god.
Right. Well, do you just want to kick things off with Arrow then? See if this is working. Okay. We'll keep an eye on the comments to see if we can.
We can hear them.
If we can get anything to work.
Okay.
All right. This is Arrow.
Yes.
Which is on Backbone. Go and listen to it. Thank you.
It's me.
It's just us.
Oh, are we here?
Start again. Okay.
Okay, you guys should be able to see us.
See us.
I think Matt's probably just experiencing some technical problems, but I think if you guys can still hear us, we're just going to jump into one of our songs.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll start this again. This is Arrow.
I have no idea what's happened in this. No idea.
Let us know if you guys can hear
Keep
us.
playing. They are back.
Yeah, okay.
We're here.
Jump into the start from here. We're making the best.
Do you value me? Am I all that you need? 'Cause there's nothing to see. You say you love me for me. You want me around. I'm lost and I'm found. I'm saved by your grace. Till you spit in my face, but I don't need you anymore. I don't wanna be your spare. I'm not hanging on your thread anymore. I don't need you anymore. I don't wanna be your spare. I'm not hanging on your thread anymore. I know where you live. Give what I could give. Repent for your sins. Only one of us wins. You're missing me now. I'll put you in the ground. Should've buried you then. Yeah, yeah. I don't need you anymore. I don't wanna be your spare. I'm not hanging on your thread anymore. I don't need you anymore. I don't wanna be your spare. I'm not hanging on your thread anymore. I don't need you. Never needed you. But you can bow to me. Yeah. I don't need you. Never needed you. But you can bow to me. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. We think,
Yo.
Yay, Matt's
Hey.
back.
Oh God, I have no idea what happened. I literally I started talking to you, and then I could hear you answering me, and then I tried to talk to you and tried to tell you what was going on, and then it just went black. And
Your pictures
Oh,
was
man.
clear and everything though, so I think whatever you've done has fixed it.
my heart was racing because I was just like, oh my God, what do I do? And I was trying to play a song on the private chat, and then it just wouldn't send that.
We
And then
managed,
eventually,
though.
woo, well done. What I heard of your song sounded great. Well done, guys.
Thanks. I saw you send on the Instagram direct, just play a song, please. And I was like, shit,
I was
play
just
the
like,
song,
Play a song,
We
damn
managed,
it.
though.
please. And I was like, do
No.
it.
I'm really sorry, guys. That was a slight, I would say a slight minor technical hitch, and I handled it extremely well. Put it that
Sure,
way.
we're still here.
We did it.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Branding.
We were talking about your branding and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, and how on point you are, which is great. So if anyone's interested in checking out what we're talking about, their Instagram and the Facebook's on screen now.
Thank you.
And
Magic.
and the song that you just played, then I only
Yeah,
caught
that
the last
was,
back
that
back
was
end of it. Is that-
Arrow.
Yeah, that's
That was
Arrow.
Arrow.
That was off of Backbone that we released in March.
Nice,
Which
nice.
is really
So
weird because we released that and we were midway through the tour for that. And our headline we did, because we had like 4 dates after the Leeds headline for the launch. And then like the day after that show on the 13th of March, everything got cancelled.
Yeah,
So
it was.
we were
it was
so
that
lucky.
Friday and Saturday before everything got. Yeah, everything got announced that it was shutting down.
Everything
so it was.
was
We literally
pulled,
just
all
got
the
it.
venues closed.
We just got the headline show fitted in just before, so we were quite lucky with that.
Yeah. So we launched that EP and then we like 3 months later we're releasing another song.
So, are you? Have you got any plans for? You mentioned about a show that you're doing that's COVID approved.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We're doing it
In September, is it? Or November, did you say?
19th of September. It might get pushed back.
Okay.
Because we've been speaking to a few of our mates and friends who are like events promoters, and also been speaking to our label as well. And they're almost certain it's fine. We've done all the maths. The space that we have will fit 20 people, socially distanced, as well as us, because there's a driveway that the door, the garage door, can open to, so we can have people outside, so they'll be a lot safer. We've got a person who's going to be on security. Everyone has to, if they're going to bring any drinks or anything, they have to bring them themselves, because we don't feel safe providing
We'll still be
them.
using face masks and gloves and
I might have to perform in a mask, which will be really weird.
That'll be pretty sad.
That could be the new brand.
Cool though, new branding. But we're doing that in September to kind of finally have a show. We're supposed to be playing live at Leeds in November, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. I mean, they've not said anything. It's been rescheduled to November. So fingers crossed that still goes ahead. And we've got a few shows that were rescheduled from the tour around the same time. So hopefully having 20 people in an outdoor space will be safer than having them in a small venue. So we're going to try and kind of connect to our fans that way and have them kind of at an intimate gig. And there's only 20 people allowed, so those tickets are that's it. So
and have they been on sale? Do they go on sale soon?
They went on sale yesterday night.
Yeah.
And we've already sold a few, so there's only a few left.
If the stars align just right, I think it'll be really good. But we can only just hope for now, really, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you didn't plan ahead, then you would just be sat waiting. So it's interesting. I think it's an interesting time to be in right now, because you want to be actively, coming up with solutions. And I think that's a really cool idea to have completely, with everyone keeping distance and all that sort of stuff. It's going to make for an interesting mosh pit. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it'll be really weird, but we want to make sure we can actually still connect to our audience, but we want them to feel safe. And we're gonna film the whole thing as well. Our lovely friend Tom is gonna film it all as a live session. So if people can't come down, or the tickets are sold out, or they don't feel safe to come just because they might be high risk or whatever, we're still gonna have it all accessible.
So is it going to be streaming live, or is it going to be pre-recorded and then posted out after?
We're gonna film it as we're playing, but we're gonna release it a bit after.
Okay, cool.
So it can be edited and beautifully done, so that on brand. But just in case there's any kind of technical issues, we can cut them out in post and not look like idiots. If there's only 20 people and something goes wrong, it's fine. I don't want the whole of our YouTube to see it.
In my experience of streaming 100% live, there's never any mistakes, any glitches, nothing like that. Nothing like me sitting in complete silence and trying to work out what the hell's going on. Nothing like that, guys. So
could you imagine?
It's always plain sailing, I promise. This is 85 or something, 85 streams in a row now, so there have been a few technical issues along the way, but you'd think I'd know what I'm doing. But
have you only started doing these during lockdown then?
Yeah, so I had people coming in here into the studio and doing live sessions. In fact, that's how we kind of connected in the first place. I ran a Instagram competition, and it was Martha from the Elephant Trees that tagged you guys in, and then you were selected out of the hat. And we were sort of, they're great, aren't they? So we were kind of talking, weren't we? Never really settled on a date, and then obviously this all happened, and then it was just okay, well, this is my life now. I just spend my life on the internet. This is it. It's all about as good as it gets, But I'd rather connect with people this way than no way at all, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's really good that most creatives are doing what they can to make the most of this. So it's really, really good seeing stuff like this.
Absolutely. Have you done much streaming in between, or have you just sort of focused on getting ready for coming out of the other end?
I've done a bit of both.
Done a little bit. I've been working on a lot of streaming myself and just doing solo stuff, and
we've done a lot of interviews.
Yeah, we've done a lot of interviews over Zoom, but nothing. We haven't done anything live like this yet.
We did
so.
a few Instagram lives at the beginning, again, to like connect with the audience and be like, we're still here, we're still relevant, hello. So we did a few of those. I've done a few streams of like just Q&As on like other people's accounts. Like I did one on the Us program. That's like an organization for like lifting up young women in every industry. So I was like a guest, which is very cool.
Very cool.
So we've done bits and bobs. We've been all over. We just want to stay like productive, because our brains rot when we're not doing anything.
I think I don't know about if this is the same for you guys, but I found elements of this that I'm going to carry over when things go back to normality.
Definitely.
Anyways,
Yeah.
like I feel like, you know, we're almost doubling down on workload here. You know, be able to connect with people all over the world, and you know, whether maybe in your case you'll be able to do production and stuff with various bands across the pond and you know, all over. I just feel like this is quite an efficient way of working, but I miss human connection. You know, I miss
and
shows and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because before it was always like I'd always want as hard as we'll work. Like I'd always want to work as hard as we are now on stuff like production and practicing live streaming and all that stuff. But it was always like college work and social events planned and playing shows and stuff, and which is all good things to focus on. But I think this has given everyone a really good opportunity to kind of get a bit more tech savvy and social media savvy, seeing as everything's kind of moving on to here now anyway. I think it's given everyone a good opportunity to kind of buckle down and do all that kind of stuff.
The beginning of this year was crazy busy for us as well, because we were doing loads of live sessions, because our second EP came out in March. So we had like we were doing loads of like BBC introducing live sessions. We were working with like students at Leeds Beckett. We were at Backstage Academy, and then we had the UK tour. So we were in Glasgow, Newcastle, Leeds, Hull.
Non-stop.
It was non-stop from like January to like literally cut off point for shows. So and we knew, because we always work 6 months ahead. We always work overtime to make sure we always have content and we always have something to be working towards. And we just were not. We were quite behind because we were doing the second EP run. So when everything kind of got pulled and we were just like, oh my God, what do we do? And then we were like, oh, I know exactly what we do. We actually do the work we haven't been doing. So we got a load of stuff done, and it's like we're going into Pirate now and went on Wednesday to like finish some stuff up.
Yeah.
So everything is weirdly going to plan. I feel like we're headed for a downward spiral at some point soon.
Nah, honestly, I think during this time, if you've been productive, then it's going to pay off, you know.
Yeah.
But by the same token, those that haven't been productive and decided to take it a bit of a backseat and cool it off, that's also more than acceptable. It's
I think anyway,
it's whatever way to get through this moment. I feel, you know, you've just got to roll with the punches and just get on with it. And if that's sitting and watching Netflix until it's all over, that's fine.
We can still fit all that stuff in as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
We've managed to get that in.
Yeah. Completed Netflix.
A lot of Netflix parties and Minecraft.
Yeah, it's been solid. It's been a pretty good lockdown, to be honest.
To be fair, we've made the best of a bad situation.
Good. Well, that's all you can do. Okay, so where did we've had a question in? Where did you get the band name from?
The band name was so Artio is the Celtic goddess of bears and death, and two very crucial parts to Artio. You know, we're all about the bears. And it was I don't know, we were looking for names, and I love one word names. I also like 3-syllable names, because 3 syllables, like the chant in the audience when they're chanting or they're saying it. Yeah, exactly. So I was like 3 syllables, 1 word, so I was very picky. And I love kind of like mythology and but I'm also a mega feminist. So I was like, badass woman who is a goddess but a bit of an underdog. You know, nobody really knows who she is, but she seems pretty cool because she's the goddess of bears, and that's pretty hardcore. So I was pretty like, she sounds like a cool gal. And then you liked the name, and then I designed the font, and the font looked really cool. And we were just like, that's it. Slap it on a t-shirt. There we go.
And we did.
Slap it
on
a t-shirt.
The rest is history, yeah?
The rest is history.
And here we are.
Great. Sometimes it's nice when it kind of all falls into place. Many a time I've tried to come up with cool band names and totally overthought it, and it's just not worked, and It's really
It was a
hard
bit of
to come up
fluke,
with band
though.
name.
I was literally sat like there. And I
Yeah.
was just like on like thesaurus or something, just like I like
Yeah.
these words, and I was like, "What about this one?" You're like, "Yeah, that sounds alright." Yeah.
It's like I've been making solo music for about like 5 years now or something, and I still am not happy with a name for any of my songs. But like for
I'm
any of
happy
my
with
solo
ours.
project stuff, I've
Yeah.
still not got a name that I'm happy with for it. So
Uh,
it's nice when it comes together quite seemingly.
It is. It's cool when that happens. So do you do stuff on your own usually, like, or are you sort of like when the band's in full swing? Are you sort of like dedicated to that, or do you kind of go off and do little bits? Are you
I mean,
like mega busy? And
I'm in and have been in a few different projects. I think we both have over time, but
Yeah. This wasn't our first band.
yeah.
We've been in a few before this
But
one.
like before I was in any bands, I was like making just like dance music. I was just that like 13-year-old kid who like listened to like two Avicii songs and was like, I'm gonna
This
do
is it.
this. This is it.
brilliant.
And I was playing Dan and Phil songs on a ukulele.
Yeah, exactly. So it all
Evolution.
starts. And then yeah, but Artio was just starting where it was like we were in like rock bands and I was still making like electronic music and I was just like, oh, do you want to sing on one of these? Do you want to like make a song?
I was having a bit of a moment. I was having a bit of a breakdown. And I like
How most
writing
things
when I'm
start.
very emotional. So you're like, do you want to just like vent? Do you want to sit? Do you want to get this out? Do you want to put this on this song? And I was like, yeah. And then it sounded really cool, and we were just like, here we go. This is another thing that's
Oh,
going
that's
to
cool.
consume us.
So that segues pretty much into that question. If unless you've answered it all within there, but it's how did you meet? Did you know each other before all of this, or is that?
We knew
Is
each
that
other.
like-
Yeah, we knew each other before all of this, but we were in
Met you in 2016.
because we went to high schools that were like the rival high schools, so we were kind of like in the same, and we had like friends.
Ooh.
We had friends of I'm still in a band with someone who Hall went to high school with, and we kind of were moving in the same circles, and we met then.
Yeah.
But we'd both been in like various different projects before. We'd been to like some like music courses and stuff.
Yeah. And we ran Soundscape before.
Yeah, and we've like put on and promoted shows and stuff together before.
Mhm.
So we were very close before, but then it was just, and then it just kind of felt natural.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very easy.
I mean, just to quickly go back to what you mentioned about producing like dance music, I can
Yeah.
really hear that in the
Mm.
production that you're doing now. Not even necessarily like a genre wise, but just like everything from just the cleanness of everything, the compressors and everything that's sort of
Yeah.
pushing the music along. Like I can hear
Yeah.
almost that influence in even with this. And I think that's something Paris does a lot as well. You
Mm.
know, they use a lot of mixed genres to turn
Yeah.
into
Uh,
this weird
I don't,
gothic
Yeah.
I just
electronic.
like mashing
rock.
things up and
Yeah.
making it sound
Yeah.
like a thing.
We both listen to like loads of different types of music, but for me, my two like biggest kind of if I had to generalize two of the biggest inspirations of me, it would be like electronic music like Skrillex and Avicii and all like the huge EDM artists, and then like progressive metal, which is like the complete opposite end of the
Yeah, yeah.
spectrum, or like and like really just like heavy music. So it's kind of I like borrowing from both of those, and I hope it does
But our
translate.
music sounds like nothing
Yeah,
like the
like
sound.
my favorite band in the world is Periphery, who's like a progressive like gent
Wicked.
band,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't think that listening to our EP, but
yeah.
it just we love borrowing from like
Yeah.
everywhere.
I like not being stuck in like a genre itself, because I feel like you get more like opportunity to get in a rut, and then you get like more people will just look at you as that genre. Whereas if like, because our first EP was like synth pop dream wave, and our second EP kind of got like alt pops, like dark pop, and the next thing that we're working on
Bonkers.
is I don't fucking know, like it's like alt pop, alt rock, some of the mashup. So like we just like making what we feel, kind of like
Yeah.
just kind of vibing.
Oh,
So-
Yeah,
there we
we
go.
I guess that kind of
define it.
answers that.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't define
and it's
it.
difficult as well because like I'd like to say we're still quite young.
Well, yeah, we had.
Well,
loads
but-
of
How old are you?
issues we're 18.
You are young.
I turned 18 in April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean quite young? You are young.
I don't want to make everyone else feel old, but like
I'm so
we're
old.
we're both still like
Yeah,
kids to us.
It's
hard
actually
for us
kind of a blessing that you
Yeah.
turned 18 in lockdown, because when we had loads of gigs before, because me and Rob, I turned 18 in October, and Rob's the year older, so he's been 18 for, well, a year longer. But we couldn't go to like after parties of the gigs that we had played.
Always very hardworking, weren't we?
And we couldn't like go in the green room for some gigs because there was a rider in there. And so it was like, thank God you're now not a babby, because we can actually do shit when we come out of lockdown.
But yeah,
we get ID'd in Waitrose then.
But because we're both still young, quite young, we obviously still haven't properly like developed sound, because I would not say I'm a professional producer by any means. But it means we've.
I thought a professional producer had done your songs. Not saying that you're not, but I thought
I have really bad imposter syndrome as well, so I'm gonna hear
Shut
all
up,
this and say
good.
thank you, and then just go back to
Accept it.
Yeah, I will. Let's say thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
take it, man.
we're still just
Take it.
Yeah, we're still just
Take it.
yeah. We're still just
Take it.
sure. We're still just developing like our sound and stuff, and figuring out what works and what doesn't. So for all we know, we'll be in 2 more EPs time. We will be a progressive metal band, and everything else would have been totally redundant.
That will go bedroom pop indie, and I'll just become Oliver.
We'll do lo-fi hip hop, and then progressive metal, and then
jazz,
Cuban throat singing, and then we would have gone full circle, and it'll all gel together and be some big meta genre.
Great. I mean, you've got time to do all that. That's the joy of it. You've literally got all the time in the world just to do, try experiment and just play what feels good. And I think that's half the battle is write what you want to write and just enjoy the process.
Yeah.
But what I would say is for as I say, like, producing your own music, coming up with your own concept and theme and everything, it's all on point, guys, and you like really have a good vision for what it is you're doing, and it's quite exciting to see it turn into something. So just keep doing your thing, and I'm sure something great will come of it.
We're going to try.
I think we'll get a song from you guys, because I only caught the back end of one of your songs, and I don't want to rush you through your next 2 songs. So if you've got any further questions for the guys, then please get them in on the comments. And but for now, let's have another tune from you guys.
Yeah, this one is called "Dancing in the Ashes." It's also on our Backbone EP, and yes.
And it's the exact same chords as the first song, but that doesn't matter. I'm not the guitarist.
We would never have noticed if you hadn't have said that.
You little bitch. You've just exposed us now. Play the song, ho.
Wait, I'm trying to remember now. I'm going to start playing the other one instead. Yes, okay.
Chances vow to protect us, they couldn't kill it. Don't wanna watch you burn, I don't wanna watch you die. I will not sit here, I will stand up, I will rise and fight. You and I listening, I'm preaching your ignorance, destroy everything I know, yeah. I don't wanna watch you burn, I don't wanna watch you die. I will not sit here, I will stand up, I will rise and fight. You and I listening, I'm preaching your ignorance, destroying everything, yeah. You profit from the blood you sold of young and old. You don't listen to us, but you have lost your hold. You breathe fire and you drink oil. You've had your blinded rule, 'cause at least you'll die with your pockets full. Don't wanna watch you burn, I don't wanna watch you die. I will not sit here, I will stand up, I will rise and fight. You and I listening, I'm preaching your ignorance, destroying everything I know, yeah. I don't wanna watch you burn, I don't wanna watch you die. I will not sit here, I will stand up, I will rise and fight. You and I listening, I'm preaching your ignorance, destroying everything, yeah. You don't speak for me, you don't speak for me, no. I don't wanna dance in the so I could get more air in my stomach. I was like,
It's nice.
Artio.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Artio.
See, that's why it's 3 syllables.
It's working.
Sounding great, guys. Really good. I'm glad we went with that
Thank you very
acoustic
much.
guitar.
Yeah.
In the end.
Good.
It sounds wicked.
Out-of-tune electric.
It does sound great.
Yeah,
I do.
just
I
a
love how
disclaimer, the
raspy it
original
sounds.
song
Sounds wicked.
Yeah. Very good.
The honestly, I can hear so many Paris influences in that song.
Oh my God, yes.
Like
Good.
it's
Well,
it's great. I'm a huge fan of Paris as well. Massive
There's
fan
a
of them.
question
Great.
that came up that says, because I was watching it, it's like, who knows it? What at a young age, did you know you wanted to be a musician? And literally, my story of musical awakenment is I queued for 6 hours to see Paris in Manchester in 2015, because they are I just adore them with my whole heart. And I queued for 6 hours, and I got in, and I was right at the front, and I was just standing there, and then Lynn hit this note, and you know when a note just does something to your insides, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, this is what I have to do. I was like, this is who I am.
Must.
I just looked, I was just watching her in awe the whole time, just I need to be a musician. Because watching her and seeing her, I was like, yeah, that's me. And then from then on, I was just working towards becoming as much of a fully fledged badass front woman as the queen herself. So when everyone's like, you guys sound like Paris, I'm just like, I did it!
Wicked. No, they, the recent Leeds and Reading festival, they proper made that festival for me this year, last year, or whatever year it was, whenever it was.
2 years ago. I was really gutted though, because she hurt her throat, so she wasn't hitting the big notes. And I was just like,
I could have done that.
I saw them at the Riverside in Newcastle. They were unbelievable there as well.
They're so ace. There was their live setup and everything was our direct reference was if we're gonna do something, it has to be like this.
It has to be this slick and this
so
cool.
So what is your setup? Do you have a drummer, or is it track mechanical, or do you have a real drummer?
Pre-lockdown,
we didn't have a drummer.
We didn't have a lockdown. A lockdown? Pre-lockdown, we didn't have a lockdown. Of course,
pre-lockdown
we didn't have a drummer. But
now we do.
I'm not a keyboard player. I was playing keys before, but I'm not a keyboard player. Drums was my first instrument. If anyone can peep the very messy background, there's a very old and battered drum kit.
Okay.
So I'm going to be moving on to drums after this all comes back to normal.
Yeah, it's kind of become a new feature of the new stuff we're working on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of live drums in all of our new stuff.
Sounds thick.
Yeah, in all things end, you can hear them in at the end of the chorus and stuff, and so that's all in the new stuff. Rob is going to be staying on guitar. You're obviously going to be staying on the singings.
songs.
And we've run most of our synth elements and the main content of the tracks just off backing tracks. We just run a laptop with us live, and
everything we can do live, we do live. We have the sample pad and everything.
Because we want it to still feel very real and very.
But we can't do the if you look at the projects on FL, there's no way we could do all of that.
It's not happening. Yeah.
We're as authentic as possible.
Oh no, is the internet
Oh
going
god,
again?
has it happened?
No, of course not.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Hey.
You have to move with the times as well. I think a lot of bands play to track.
Yeah, so many bands do nowadays. It's kind of a given now.
Have we gone broken again?
We just did. Okay, we're probably very laggy now, and all the responses are going to be 5 seconds.
If we've broke again, you guys want to take away for another song?
Sure.
We'll say yes, although it probably won't hear us for a good another 5 seconds. I'll tune.
Okay, you tune. I will answer a question or two while you're tuning. Well, now I can't see the questions, can I?
Sorry, I'm clicking everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything at the moment. So
okay. Both of you, who would you aspire to be like? I would aspire to be like myself, but cooler. And I mean, one of my biggest influences is Hayley Williams, Lynn Gunn. I love Nothing But Thieves, Connor Mason. I just want to be like a fully fledged musician, basically with a cool ass voice. I think I'm on the way there. Nearly. I love that he was inspired by the Bee Gees. Did you say Bee Gees?
I didn't say Bee Gees, but I do love the Bee Gees.
We do love the Bee Gees.
They're very cool.
I'm inspired by a lot of 80s music as well. Oh my god, ABBA. Take me now, ABBA. Seriously. I know that they don't have like the two females in the band anymore, so I'll be the other one. Thank you. Do you think you'll continue doing music in the future? Forever and ever.
It's all I'm good at. So
Same!
I feel like if we're not doing music, we're
singing and eating
or doing something music related. Yeah, we're not going to be doing anything else. I mean, I'd happily take any job in the music industry.
Yeah, I love music business as well, so I would like to manage bands and like run my own label and run my own like company eventually. But for now, I'm just loving performing.
Amy says, when you perform, do you ever get stage fright? And if so, how do you get over it? Well, we both started. We started playing in bands like properly.
We were like 14 or 13. 14.
14. It was like, 14. We started playing like gigs and
my lip balm.
The really important questions. You can go find it. I'll have a chat if you want. Yeah, we started playing in bands. When we were like age 14. So we've been doing it for a while now. Of course, it was very kind of nerve-wracking when we started, but we'd also been in a lot of.
It's not as scary anymore.
Yeah, we'd been in there's a music course. Well, it's like a music course. It's like a boot camp, but for rock bands for kids in Leeds. It's called Rock School, and they're so great. And we'd been going to stuff like that when we were really young.
2 rock schools.
Yeah, and what the premise of that is they put you in like a band just with all these other random kids that have come for a week, and you do covers and you write songs and you do a gig at the Wardrobe in Leeds at the end of the week. So we'd done a couple of them before we even started playing in proper bands.
We headlined the Wardrobe in March, and because we've played the Wardrobe when we were like 14.
I started in rock school when I was 10. So
I was 11, yeah. So like.
Oh, we're going back.
Hello. So on stage is not as scary for us anymore. When we do get stage fright, it's when it's like a really weird, intimate show where if the audience is sat down and they're just watching you and they're not like vibing and like moving with you, it's so scary.
So we played at O2 Academy for the centre stage final. Was that last year? 2019. Yeah, that was fucking ages. That feels like ages ago. We played there, and because it's just like a sea of people and you can't identify anyone, it wasn't really like that scary. But when we did Sofa Sounds in Leeds, there was, I think, so centre stage probably was about 1,500 people.
Centre stage was just over.
Sofa Sounds was 100, but it was because everyone was sat looking at you in complete silence. No like stage lighting, no smoke machines, nothing to hide behind.
So they're just like sat there.
It was like being in an exam, and I was probably the most nervous for that gig I've ever been in my entire life.
I was really scared at that show. So
and that was in January this year, so.
The smaller the audience, I think the scarier it is.
It really depends on.
We should probably do a song.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll get on with it. We'll just read this. Yeah. Okay. Introduce the song. I'm tuning
this is
still.
All Things End. This literally came out on the 5th. The response to this song has been magical. It hit like 3K in the first 3 days of it being out, which is
3,000 streams on Spotify.
3,000 streams on Spotify, so which is insane. Like our streams are alright, but like that quickly on that song was just insane, and it's a whole new sound that we've been going in for. It's very different to what we're used to. So this is All Things End, and it's the new one. So yeah.
That's what it's called now, the new one.
The new one. It's out on Spotify. Go listen to it after you watch it. Thank you. Like cherries and a dream. I like the way it feels when you're touching me, yeah. Gasoline
Yay! Thank you. Oh, you're all so nice.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm a sucker for compliments.
Oh, stop it, you!
Oh,
Stop it, you guys.
You spoil me.
Have we got audio now?
We're back. Hello?
Oh no.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Okay, it is working. Okay, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's
Right,
not.
guys. This is totally blowing my mind. I am now currently listening to you on here, and whilst this is glitching out, it's all a bit strange. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I apologise for all the technical issues.
It is
It's
okay.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear us, but it's okay. It's been great. We've got lots of questions and stuff here.
I can hear you,
Okay.
but it's like about 10 days latency.
Okay. We've got. Do you want us to answer some questions or
Or are we
anything
wrapping
in the
it up?
meantime? Or are we wrapping it up? What's going on?
I think we're going to wrap up now, guys, and I will get you back
Okay.
on when I've fixed the internet. Any final words for the evening?
You can close it out. Go on. You're the spokesman.
Wait, what am I closing? What am I saying?
Just do the plugs. Do the general plugs.
We have a new single out. It's called All Things End. It was our last song. It's on Spotify and everywhere. We've also literally just put out the music video for it on our YouTube as well, which is literally just Artio. All of the money from All Things End, any like revenue or anything, is going towards 3 different charities supporting Black Lives Matter. So if you go to our or like any merch as well, so our Big Cartel, artio.com/Big Cartel, there's loads of t-shirts and badges and posters and lyric art and all that stuff, and all that money as well is going towards these charities. So if you fancy supporting them, that would be really cool. Thank you for having us. We've got lots of releases coming up, so if you follow us on our social media, you'll be the first to know when we release all the new stuff. So yes, that is
Thank you, Matt.
thank you. That is the shameless plug over.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Sorry for all the technical issues. See you very
It's
soon.
alright. It's been exciting.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Leave the studio.
Leave.
Leave.